give him the number one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim.
Versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight.
Who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like 170 pounds. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Ciryl Gane beat?
MMA professionals have made their predictions for the Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane fight. Aspinall, however, believes he has the edge. While he matches Gane in speed and movement, Aspinall points to his superior grappling and raw power as the key advantages. With a record of knockout finishes, he stated the single clean shot is all it takes to end a heavyweight fight. Aspinall also mentioned that in his last bout, he wasn't even fighting with full power, yet still secured a knockout, demonstrating the immense impact of his striking.
I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power, and I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight.
Tom Aspinall has confirmed his fight with Ciryl Gane is finally happening after more than a year. The two have been matched up 4 times before. The fight is scheduled for October 25th in Abu Dhabi. This is Gane's 3rd time fighting for a title, and Aspinall's goal is to stop him from ever winning a championship.
Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. This is the 4th time we've been matched up together, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Ciryl, the 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's 3rd title shot.
Tom Aspinall's training camp is in full swing. He's been sparring intensely, leaving no doubt he's preparing for a war with Ciryl Gane. Observers describe him as looking razor sharp, incredibly powerful, and laser focused. Aspinall is pushing his body to its absolute limit, leaving everything in the gym to ensure he's ready for the heavyweight showdown. Ciryl Gane is also training hard for the fight, and he's showing off his power in camp. He's been working on his striking combinations and movement, proving he has the strength and skill to be a dangerous heavyweight opponent. Tom Aspinall believes he has an edge over fighters who freeze under pressure, even if they look deadly in the gym. For him, the opposite is true. He thrives when the stakes are high. He explained that all the talk and hype leading up to a fight don't faze him at all. Once he steps into the cage on October 25th to face Ciryl Gane, all that matters is who can perform when the pressure is on, not who wins the pre-fight build-up.
You know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Oh, talk's just talk to me, right? It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change it.
Henry Cejudo believes giving Tom Aspinall a fight against the #1 contender, Ciryl Gane, is a significant step up. He pointed out that Gane is a large and agile heavyweight, and he doesn't think Aspinall will be able to dominate dominate him as he has his past opponents. Cejudo also mentioned that this matchup is an important test. He believes it will be a key indicator for whether Jon Jones will return to the heavyweight division and challenge for the title again. He ended his point by stating, "You give him the #1 contender, Ciryl Gane."
Give him the #1 contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout.
Kamaru Usman believes Ciryl Gane is an underestimated fighter. He says Gane's ability to float around the octagon and strike with punches, kicks, and elbows make him a complete and dangerous opponent. However, Usman pointed out that Aspinall's movement, boxing speed, and power make it difficult to bet against him, highlighting just how high level this matchup is.
People forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man.
Daniel Cormier said that finally getting the fight between Tom Aspinall of Ciryl Gane is exciting, as fans have been calling for it for a long time. He noted that the betting odds suggest that it's not a close fight, with Tom currently at -325 and Gane at +265, but he strongly disagrees with this assessment. Cormier believes the matchup is much closer than the lines indicate. He feels that while Aspinall is an incredibly talented and powerful heavyweight champion, Gane's unique and agile style, combined with his technical striking, make him a very live underdog. According to Cormier, this fight is a classic clash of styles and a true toss-up between two of the most skilled heavyweights in the world.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chael, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom -325, Gane +260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall -325, Ciryl Gane +265.
Joe Rogan said that Ciryl Gane, standing 6'5" and weighing 247 pounds, moves like a 170-pound fighter and bounces around the octagon like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He noted that Gane has completely changed the standard for striking in the heavyweight division, a sentiment he has often expressed on his podcast. Rogan continued saying that Gane's unique fluidity and footwork defy the traditional image of a heavyweight fighter, which is typically slower and more plodding. He questioned whether Gane's unconventional style will be enough to overcome the incredible speed, power, and well-rounded game of Tom Aspinall, making the fight one of the most intriguing matchups in recent heavyweight history.
Ciryl Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170-pounder. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Ciryl Gane beat Tom?
Michael Bisping shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated heavyweight matchup, highlighting that Tom Aspinall has already dominated most of the top heavyweights in the UFC, earning impressive victories over names like Sergey Pavlovich and Alexander Volkov, avenging his loss to Curtis Blades. However, Bisping pointed out that Ciryl Gane presents a different challenge due to his size, speed, and athleticism. He compared both Gane and Aspinall to a heavyweight version of Georges St. Pierre, acknowledging their fluid and technical styles. Bisping also noted that while Gane is incredibly agile and skilled on the feet, his lack of grappling was exposed against Jon Jones and could once again be his downfall against Aspinall. Michael Bisping further emphasized that Aspinall's grappling, which he has honed since his teens, will likely be the key factor in the fight. He noted that Tom's father and coach, who runs the gym, has been pushing him to use it more. Although Bisping acknowledges Gane's striking danger and the general unpredictability of heavyweight MMA, he leaned toward Aspinall to get the job done. Bisping also hinted that Jon Jones will be watching closely and might react publicly if Aspinall fails to finish Gane as impressively as Jones did. This point highlights the immense pressure Aspinall is under and the potential for a public spectacle, as Jones has a history of using social media to diminish his rival's performances.
When you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings,
As I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blade, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, John Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic, he's very quick, he's agile, he's light on his feet, he could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against John Jones, and that's probably what's going to grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting John Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. John Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter if he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what John did.
Chael Sonnen explained that the upcoming clash between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is a pivotal moment for the heavyweight division. He described it as a transitional fight that could shape the future landscape of the weight class, moving the division forward from the uncertainty that has surrounded the title for so long. Sonnen admitted that when it comes to matchmaking, he often takes a straightforward approach. Choose the biggest fight available at the moment rather than thinking too far ahead. But he acknowledged that sometimes the sport requires a chess-like approach where long-term planning outweighs immediate opportunities. He mentioned that according to Ciryl Gane, this fight had already been attempted to be booked 4 times in the past. For the sake of rankings and the integrity of the division, Sonnen believes the matchup makes perfect sense. He views it as a necessary fight that will clarify the title picture and determine who the true top contender is, a role that Aspinall has already taken on, in his view, by consistently fighting the top names in the division.
Versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be. Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. According to Ciryl Gane, he just did an interview, they tried to make this fight 4 times. And for rankings and for the integrity of our rankings.
And there you have it, fight fans. We've heard from the biggest names in the sport, from Daniel Cormier to Joe Rogan and Chael Sonnen, on a fight that has everyone talking. The consensus is clear. While the betting odds may suggest a one-sided affair, this clash between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is not anything but. This is a battle of 2 of the most athletic heavyweights the world has ever seen, each with a unique style that could spell disaster for the other. This isn't just about a title, it's about the future of the heavyweight division. The winner will not only cement themselves as the undisputed champion, but will also step into the orbit of a potential super fight with the greatest of all time, John Jones. The stakes have never been higher, and the pressure is on. This is a fight that will determine a legacy and prove once and for all who is truly the baddest man on the planet. Now we want to hear from you. After listening to what the experts have to say, are you with Cormier that this is a much closer fight than the odds suggest? Or do you agree with Bisping that Aspinall's grappling will be the key to victory? Let us know in the comments below. And for more in-depth analysis and breaking news on the fights that shake the sport, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video from Cage Shock.